Hi everybody, Junior Asparagus here. I've got a fun activity for you and your family to try. It's called Helium Stick. What's a helium stick? Well, helium is what they put in balloons to make them float, and you just won't believe it, but you've got a helium stick in your house right now. And we're going to use it to play a fun game that shows how we need to trust God. Trusting God is important when you're scared, because if you trust that God will keep you safe and you believe that there's nothing God can't do, then you just can't be scared. To play this game, find a lightweight stick of some kind, like a yardstick or a tent pole, or you could roll up a piece of newspaper into a tight tube and tape it together. You could also use a broomstick, but that's actually a little on the heavy side. The more people you have for this game, the better, but you can play it with just 2 people if you want. Half the people stand on one side of the stick and half stand on the other. Hold your hands out in front of you with your palms facing each other and rest the stick on the top of everybody's pointer fingers. I'd play with you if I had a pointer finger. The object of the game seems simple. All you have to do is lower the stick to the ground. The trick is that everybody's fingers have to touch the stick at all times. No cheating. Don't hold the stick, and don't let it lift up off your fingers. You aren't going to believe this, but the stick just won't want to go down. As much as everybody wants to lower the stick, it just won't go down. Sometimes it even goes up, kind of like it has helium in it. It takes a lot of practice and cooperation to get it to go down, and the last few inches are the hardest yet. Everybody has to work together, so don't get frustrated. And remember, this is just for fun. This game is a lot like learning to trust God. Even when you want to do something, it's hard to do it sometimes, but just stick with it and have faith.
All right.
Oh, that was fun, guys. What did we learn from that?
Working together to lower that stick was hard, and sometimes trusting God is hard too. How can you work as a family so that everyone continues to trust in God? Does talking about God with your family help you understand Him better? Who are some people from the Bible that had to trust God? Well, I hope you learned something and had fun playing this game. This is Junior Asparagus reminding you that God is the biggest and He's watching over you and me. Bye!
Larry here with a fun activity for you and your family to try. Do you remember how many times the Bible tells us that we should forgive someone? It says 7 times 70. That's 490 times. It'd be very hard to forgive someone that many times, don't you think? Today, we're going to play a fun game called Forgiveness Buckets to show just how hard it can be. To play, you'll need a bunch of buckets or other containers, like bowls or waste paper baskets. You'll also need something to throw, like bean bags or just some crumpled up paper. Place the baskets in a row with one near your feet and the rest in a straight line away from you. Throw a beanbag into the nearest bucket. If you make it, try the next bucket and the next bucket until you've gotten a beanbag in all of them. The further the bucket is, the harder it gets. Just like it's harder to forgive someone over and over again. Let everybody in the family have a chance, then talk about what you learned. Did it get harder to hit the buckets as you went along, or easier? Why is it hard to forgive people when they do the same thing over and over? Have you ever had to forgive someone 490 times? Wouldn't that be hard to do? Since we're always supposed to forgive, does that mean that we can always just keep doing bad things? Why not? When somebody asks you a lot of questions, does it make your brain hurt? Well, I hope you had fun and learned something. I know I did. I learned that 70 times 7 is 490, and that grapes are really good at math. Remember, God made you special, and He loves you very much.
Bye.
Bamboo! Larry here with a special activity for you to try with your family. It's called the What's Different game. In Are You My Neighbor, we learned that being different doesn't make someone weird, it makes them special. We also learned that we're all special to God, so we should treat each other as neighbors, no matter how different we are. To play this game, all you need is a tray or a plate, a piece of cloth, and a bunch of little objects like small toys. To make it easier for younger kids, you can just use a few objects. Fill the tray or plate with the toys and put it in the middle of the table where everyone can see it. Try to remember everything that's on the tray. Now, One person covers up the tray with a cloth and secretly takes away 1 or 2 items. Or you could even add a new item. Now, pull the cloth off and see what's different. Can you tell what things got taken away? Did anything new get added to the tray? Don't say it out loud until everyone has a chance to guess. What would happen if you used items that were very special to each person in the family? Why would that make a difference? What could make this game harder? Try playing this game different ways, using new twists. When you've played the game a few times, talk about what you learned. Why are differences important? What makes things special? What makes people special? What makes you special? When something or someone is special to us, do we treat them differently? If God thinks we're all special and He loves all of us, how should we treat each other? Well, I hope you had fun and learned something. This is your neighbor Larry saying see ya!
Hi, everybody. Dave here. I've got a fun activity for you and your family to try. It's called Umbilical Cord, and it's all about how little guys can do big things too. Just like I did in Dave and the Giant Pickle. To play, you'll need a belt, a blindfold, some paper plates, markers, and some rope. We actually use dog leashes. You really need at least 3 people for this game, but you can have 10 or more. The more people you have, the crazier it gets. First, have somebody put a number on each plate from 1 to 10. Then, spread the plates out in the yard or in a big room. Don't put them in order, though. Now comes the fun part. Cut a piece of rope for each person in the group except the smallest person. Each piece of rope should be about 6 to 8 feet long.
You ready?
Then blindfold that person. They won't be able to see anything. Tie the ends of the rope onto the belt with each rope spaced out a little around the belt, and put the belt on the smallest person in the group. It doesn't have to be the smallest person. It could be anybody. But I'm just trying to show you how little guys can do big things here. Then, have everybody else grab a rope and stand in a circle around him, or her. The object of the game is to lead that blindfolded person to step on each plate in order from 1 to 10. Be careful, and be gentle, and above all, be helpful. The rope pullers will have to cooperate and communicate so that everybody goes the same direction. You could use a stopwatch to time the game and see if you can get faster and faster each time you play. What can you do to improve your time? Work together. This is a great game to show that your family can count on even the littlest person when things need to get done. It can also show you that even when we can't see where God is leading us, we still need to follow His directions.
Well, that was an interesting game. What did we learn from that?
Well, I hope you learned something and had fun playing this game. This is Dave, reminding you that little guys can do big things too. Bye!
Hi kids, Bob the Tomato here with a great activity you and your family can try. It's all about learning how to give. Instead of only thinking of yourself, just like Mr. Nezer learned in The Toy That Saved Christmas. This activity is called Here's the Scoop, Getting a Handle on Giving. To play, you'll need plastic spoons, tape, newspaper, plastic cups, a bowl, a watch, and some kind of light snack food. We're going to use candy, but you can use marshmallows, popcorn, whatever you have in the kitchen. To set up, everyone needs to take a big sheet of newspaper and roll it tightly into a tube that's 2.5 feet long or so and about 1 inch around. Tape it down to keep it from coming open. Then tape the handle of a plastic spoon on one end of the tube. It should look like a spoon with a very, very long handle. And remember, when making this contraption, the little folks might need some help from the big folks. Okay, now everybody needs to sit in a circle around the bowl of candy with their stretched spoon and a plastic cup. You have to hold the cup against your stomach for the entire activity, and you can only hold the spoon by the very end of the handle. But the littler folks can hold the spoon closer to the middle of the handle. It's only fair.
Okay, everybody, we've got 1 minute. Go!
So here's how you play. You each have to get as much candy as you can in your own cup in 1 minute. Remember, your cup has to stay in contact with your stomach, and you can only hold the very end of the handle. Start scooping! Do you think more practice will help? Try a few rounds to see if you can get more candy in your cup. Now's a good time to talk about what you learned. What's the solution? Does it have anything to do with what Mr. Nezer learned in The Toy That Saved Christmas? He learned how important it is to give and not to just think of himself. Now, can you figure out the solution? Well, kids, that's all for me. I hope you had a great time. Oh, and if you're still stumped, check out our website at www.bigidea.com. We'll post the solution there. Merry Christmas!
Hi, everybody. Larry Boy here with a fun activity you and your family can play. In Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space, you saw how Junior had to cover up his original lie with more and more lies. This game is called Wishing Well, and it shows just how much trouble one little lie can be. To play, you'll need a nice big pot filled with water and some coins. Place a quarter or some other large coin in the middle of the bottom of the pot. Now everyone takes turns trying to cover up the quarter by dropping coins on top of it. The deeper the water, the harder it is. Which reminds me, you can get into some pretty deep water by lying. How many coins did it take to completely cover the first coin? Now talk about the game with your family. What do the coins represent? Talk about why it sometimes takes a lot more lies to cover up the first lie. Why is telling the truth better than lying? How do you think God feels about lying? In Larry Boy and the Fib from Outer Space, they quote John 8:32b, and the truth will set you free. What does that mean? Well, I hope you had fun and learned something. This is Larry Boy, signing off.
Hi kids, I'm Bob the Tomato, and welcome to another fun family activity. It's called Egg Drop Soup, and it's all about preserving thankful hearts in your family. In the show, Madam Blueberry learned that a thankful heart is a happy heart. She thought that buying things would make her happy, but it didn't. What did make her happy was being thankful for what she had, like having good friends. You can learn all about being thankful too. Here's how. Find some scissors and newspaper. Then for each person in your family, you'll need 12 straws, 6 feet of packing tape, and a raw egg. To play, ask each person to share something for which they're thankful.
All right, guys, can you tell me something that you're all thankful for?
I'm thankful for my school.
I'm thankful for my mom and dad.
After each person has had a chance to share, give everyone an egg and tell them that their egg represents a thankful heart. To preserve their thankful heart, each person must build a protective contraption around his or her egg using 12 straws and 6 feet of tape. You can use any design for your contraption, but you may only use the 12 straws and the 6 feet of tape. Nothing else. No pillows, no pets. The goal is to prevent your egg from breaking when you drop the egg from about 8 feet off the ground. I bet you and your mom will be thankful if your contraption works. When everybody's done building, cover the drop zone with newspaper just in case the egg breaks. Then drop the eggs from about 8 feet up. Adults can drop their egg while holding it above their head, or kids can stand on a stool. But please, be careful. Ah! Look out! When you're done, talk about what you learned with your family.
So what do you guys think we learned by doing this?
What are some ways to help you remember to give thanks every day? What things keep you from being thankful? In the same way your straws and tape protected your egg, what are the things that could help you protect the spirit of thankfulness in your family? I hope you had a fun time and learned something. See you next time. Goodbye!
Larry Boy here with a fun activity you and your family can play. In Larry Boy and the Rumor Read, I found out that bad words can hurt people and that God wants us to spread nice words instead. This game is called The Good Word Is You, and it shows us how nice words can make people feel good and that by using nice words, we can make God happy too. To play, you'll need some index cards or small pieces of paper, pens or crayons, and some tape. You could also use Post-it notes. Everyone should think of nice words that describe people in their family. Each person should write as many nice words as they can think of, putting just one nice thing on each piece of paper. Now, Everyone in your family should take turns taping a nice thing onto someone else while telling them what the card says. Don't leave anybody out. When you're done, everyone should have a whole bunch of nice words. Everyone should say at least one nice thing about everyone else. Starting with the youngest in the family, ask how it felt when each person said something nice about them. God wants us to use nice words because nice words show that we love each other. And God wants us to love each other just like He loves us. I hope you had fun and learned something. This is Larry Boy, signing off from Bumbleberg. See you next time.
Ta-ta!